Pubs up and down the UK are facing a battle to survive.
How often do you go to the pub? We used to go out more often, but now we have to limit because of the expenditure.
I can't as much as I'd like to.
Used to a lot years ago, but can't afford to do it anymore.
Rising costs and the after effects of the pandemic have taken a toll.
It's worse now than it was during COVID. It's tougher now.
The cost of living crisis basically sealed it.
It's making me feel a bit upset.
In his spring budget, the Chancellor announced a tax relief on draft drinks.
From the 1st of August, the duty on draft products in pubs will be up to 11 pence lower than the duty in supermarkets.
But is this enough? From enforced closure to constant reinvention, this is how pubs across the country are being impacted by the cost of living crisis. Fiona Vincent and her family have run the Lion pub in Bristol for 14 years.
Deep down, I think because my grandmother's always run pubs, in fact my great-grandmother's run pubs as well, it almost felt like it was an inevitability.
But now she's worried if the pub will stay in business.
I know everyone says you're doing a great job, and we do try very hard, and people around here try very hard to support us, but these costs are just so humongous that it's like a massive wave, it's drowning you. It's making me feel a bit upset.
And she's not the only one struggling. Pub numbers across the UK have been in decline for decades. But the energy crisis and the impact of the pandemic have put more pressure on the institutions than ever before. In December 2021, there were about 37,500 pubs in Britain. 12 months later, more than 1,200 had closed.
All the utility bills went from being like £600–700 to being over £1,500, £2,000 in certain aspects. I remember one bill coming through and they were charging me like £3,500.
Jordan Wallace used to run the Railway pub in Doncaster until it closed in October. The pub had been around since the late 19th century, when it was built to accommodate Britain's new national rail network.
Customers also facing the cost of living crisis. They haven't really got the money to come out, and no one's going to want to drink in a cold pub.
Literally everything is challenging at the moment.
Warwick Heskins runs the Catherine Wheel in Newbury. Last year he had to close his other pub due to spiralling costs. Things since have not been easy.
Electricity, even here, has gone up from £1,200 to £3,500 a month. And with gas and everything as well going up. Food prices have gone ridiculously high. Most of the drink suppliers are putting all the beers prices up by about 10–13%, which you can't pass fully on to the customers, otherwise you won't have any customers at all left.
In the last few years, do you find that you go to the pub more or less often?
Less, definitely.
And why is that?
Mainly the money.
Yeah, we got out of the habit of going.
On the whole, it's not as busy, no, to be honest.
Last year, the government promised to help. They introduced the Energy Bill Relief Scheme, which capped gas and electricity prices for some businesses. A UK hospitality survey has found businesses expect an 82% rise in their energy bills when the support is reduced in April. Fiona says it's been impossible getting her hands on the current relief.
We called so many people, so there was no real help about that. So I still don't really know what we should be getting. You just have to keep improvising, reinventing yourself very slightly. And I think that's quite shocking for some people. We used to do chimichangas, but we can't afford to necessarily do that because I don't know from one minute to the next whether we're going to be busy or not.
Over 4,800 licensed premises closed last year due to the cost of living crisis. The vast majority that went under from October to December were independently owned.
No one's actually looking at the individuals, I think. They're not looking forward to the sort of the structure of small businesses being part of the community. And we give a lot here to people that don't see a lot of people, and lots of pubs do, they're little social areas. And that's quite important to people.
What do you think it is about the Great British Pub that...
No, it seems to have an atmosphere all its own.
I like to socialise. See, I've got a drink in the house, can't drink it in the house. I like to chat to somebody.
I think it's just an institution, really, isn't it, the British pub? I mean, everybody loves a British pub.